everyone. Today, let's talk about some of the misconceptions about Agile project. To me, there are four misconceptions. Number one, Agile is not equal to speed. Number two, Agile does not mean no documentation. Number three, Agile does not mean only team is responsible for delivering value. And number four, continuous training is not required. Let's look at each one of them one by one. Number one, Agile is not equal to speed. Many a times, leadership or companies have misconception that we have adopted Agile and now our team will able to generate value really fast. They need to understand Agile implementation takes its own time. Once you form a team, you need to understand that they need to go through the phases of forming, storming, norming, and performing. Which means initially when you form Scrum team, their velocity or ability to deliver value will go down drastically, and over a period of time it improves then. So don't expect the output to be delivered as soon as you start implementing Agile. Number two, Agile does not mean no documentation. Agile Manifesto clearly says working software over comprehensive documentation. That does not mean teams should get away with the required set of documents. Many a times I have seen personally that the teams are trying to get away with very minimal documentation, even though if it is required. Number three, it's just the team's responsibility to deliver value. If you look at the House of Lean, the foundation is leadership. Unless leadership does not support Agile implementation in the day-to-day work, it will not survive for long. Even though if a company has started its Agile journey, it will never know when it will fall apart. If the leadership is still asking for status report, if they still want to see efforts in Jira in terms of time booking, if they also want to see what is the role of an individual in a team based on the stories assigned to him or the task he or she is actually doing, they need to understand that these legacy status reports should go away and they have to relook at a new way of thinking that give confidence to the team member to work on complex adaptive problems. And number four, training is one time. Many a times when a Scrum team is formed, 1 or 2 day trainings are being given and they start working, and then there are no trainings at all, which means they learn by experimenting, but they don't learn from what is already documented by experts in the industry. So it's important to have these training sessions regularly so that team does not only learn from what they are doing, but they get a chance to introspect what they are working on, how industry has suggested, and what they can incorporate to improve it further. In summary, there are four pitfalls that as a product owner, as a Scrum Master, or as a working professional, if you are working in Agile space, you need to look for. Number one, Agile should not be considered equal to speed. Number two, Agile means documentation which is required. Number three, leadership buy-in is utmost important. And number four, regular training is the key to success.